What's up guys, Luke here from 13 Motorsports. We are introducing our new YouTube series. It is called Boot to Bonnet, and basically that's going to cover back to front of the car, and we are going to cover a wide variety of topics, try to keep it super interesting, and go over some of the details on these projects that we're doing. Super exciting stuff. We might throw in some track stuff, we might throw in some street stuff, but there's definitely going to be cool stuff. And our first car is going to be this lovely MR2. Owned by a great customer of ours. And this car came in because it wasn't making the power that it should be. But of course, we fixed that. So now we're going to take a look at the car. So we'll start with the bonnet. And in the front end, got some hand-cooked RS4s on there and a Wilwood brake kit with some very large rotors. And then if you make your way down, okay, so under the hood, we've got a couple interesting features. So it does have a methanol injection system. We've also converted to a coil-on-plug ignition system, which is running full sequential on a standalone ECU by Outtakes. We've added in a couple sensors that are pretty important, like a fuel pressure sensor, and there's also an oil pressure sensor mounted over here remotely. And those sensors allow us to monitor the fuel pressure and the oil pressure to make sure that the engine will blow up, frankly. This car also has engine room fans here and an intercooler fan down here, which are both controlled by the Outtakes ECU and are monitored with independent temperature sensor. And all the loom for the computer is all made in-house by us. So this is the Outtakes Elite 1500 standalone engine management system. This is a very nice and user-friendly system. It's got a very high processing speed, and it does pretty much everything we need it to do on this vehicle. It can monitor all the additional sensors, it can control all the outputs that we need, and easily controls a 4-cylinder engine. It's running a full sequential setup, which means the fuel injection and also spark is timed as accurately as possible to the rotation of the engine. And the reason why we upgraded to this system is that it had a Mega Squirt ECU in it before, and also was using the factory engine harness, and it had a misfire that just couldn't be traced. So we diagnosed it back to the ECU, and we also recommended replacing the 30-something-year-old wiring harness with something custom built by us so that we can control everything about the ECU. And everything worked out great. The car made 310 wheel horsepower on the dyno and almost 300 foot-pounds of torque, which for this setup is a lot of fun. Suspension-wise, it has some coilovers on it. Not even sure what brand they are. They ride okay. Probably not my favorite thing in the world, but could use some work. They're helped out quite a bit by a geometry correction kit, which improves the front and rear geometry to get rid of some of the nasty habits that MR2s tend to have, improve the steering response, and also the camber curve in the front. The exhaust is a custom-made exhaust by us, 13 Motorsports, 3-inch. It is a street car, so it has a catalytic converter and vibrant performance materials and mufflers. So this is the dyno graph from the car, And the important numbers you want to know are 307 wheel horsepower and 300 foot-pounds of torque. Tuned by our friends at Dyno Motorsport Tuning, best in the business. Definitely great guys to tune your Toyota and pretty much everything else. And what you'll notice about this graph is that the power is pretty consistently climbing up there, and it's got a nice flat torque curve from about 4,000 RPM all the way to about 65. So that means you're going to have good acceleration through that rev range. And it starts making 200 foot-pounds of torque at 3,500 RPM. It carries that, well, increases all the way to the red line of 7,200 RPM. So because this is pretty much stock Gen 3 3S GT, we didn't push the RPM too far. You know, the turbo's not big enough to make any more power past the stock red line, so we didn't go any further than that. And this car also needs an intercooler upgrade to really complete the package and probably squeeze out a little bit more horsepower. So if you guys have an MR2 yourself or any other cool car and you need some great guys to work on it, contact us at 13 Motorsports. If you have any questions, comments, or just want to give us a thumbs up, like and subscribe, comment down below, and make sure that you click the bell so you'll get notifications when we drop our next video in this series, Boot to Bonnet. Pretty clean MR2. What? I forgot what to say.
I can smell your fart, bro.
Oh, sorry. Yo, the camera's steady. Don't crack under pressure.
Oh.
It's a fart, bro. It comes out of your ass.